speaker of the day is the middle child between an older brother and younger sister. He and his brother used to all-out brawl, that's a quote, until one day when our speaker was 12 and got in a good uppercut, which left his brother with a bloody lip. Since then, they have seen eye to eye on everything. Here to share with us speech number 4 from the manual, a 5 to 7 minute speech entitled, Music is Music to My Ears. Please welcome Tito DeJesus.
A few weeks ago, I was sitting in my cubicle at work when my cubicle-sharing fellow student started swaying and nodding her head. She wears noise-canceling headphones, so it's not always easy to tell what she's listening to, so I had to ask her. She just unplugged the cord so I could hear the computer speaker playing the song. Sky rockets in flight, afternoon delight, afternoon delight. For those of you old enough to remember that song, you'll remember that it was the most annoying and stupid song ever to come out in the 1970s, and that sang live. For those of you not old enough to remember, just think of Shiny Happy People or La Vida Loca. Now, I'm a musician, and all the songs I've just mentioned are what musicians refer to as ear candy, bubblegum pop, kid music. So I have to ask, why do we listen to this junk? Why do we think that bubblegum pop is so great, and why do they sell so many records? 3 words: catchy, colorful, charming. In our Western culture, we sing the praises of Tchaikovsky and Copland and good old Ludwig van Beethoven. These are guys you can really get into for a while. The heartrending themes, the unpredictable tempos, the fantastic reprises that thrill us at their climax. But people don't sit around whistling the 1812 Overture, do they? They don't hum fanfare for the common man in the elevator. This is because these tunes are not catchy. It's kind of the point, you know, but they're long and complicated, they're not easy to remember, and that's exactly why we call them serious music. On the other hand, there's popular music. Every song is exactly 3 minutes long. They repeat the same melody over and over and over again, and that's how they weasel their way into your subconscious. It repeats over and over again until, without knowing it, you're humming it. It's like the alphabet song. Does anybody remember when they were 2 or 3 years old? Probably not, but this is the cool thing about 2 and 3-year-olds. They can all hum the alphabet song long before they can get all the lyrics right. A catchy tune is catchy no matter how old you are, because it resonates in your soul, like the purr of a well-tuned engine or the rhythm of a falling rain. Now, many musicians would say popular music is not colorful, because pop songs are not 18 minutes long, they don't have complex harmonies, and so little skill is required to perform them. Now, not to be contentious, but sounds like priggish, elitist, highfalutinism to me. I don't know, am I in the minority here? Am I the only person on this planet who can feel the complexity, color, and depth in a Journey song? Does it really take more than 3 minutes to tug on a heartstring? I say, what most of us are looking for in music is an escape from our humdrum lives. We want to be transported to another place where people are happier than we are, or sadder than we are, or maybe both. Sure, a Bach concerto can do that, if you're in the right frame of mind, if you're in a concert hall with the lights dim, the crowd hushed, the beautiful person sitting next to you. Sure, that's great. But we can't have that every day. We need an escape from the morning traffic, from the afternoon meetings, and from the evening news. And that's where the popular music comes in. Its beauty is in its simplicity, and thanks to the recording industry, it is available all the time on the radio. Listening to Baroque quartets, classical symphonies, and modern jazz demands a certain amount of attention and discipline from the listener. So many lines of harmony and so many changes, it's hard to keep up. If it requires me to do work and pay attention, it simply isn't charming. That's another reason why, as much as I love instrumental music, a song is much more influential to your short-term memory. It's much more influential, especially if it has words. Poetry came about because words were easier to remember if you set them to music. But for me, Music is more available when it's set to words. The lyrics are the real charm of popular music. They're never too serious. They're never too specific. And that's exactly how they reach and connect to the wide audience of listeners. The lyrics may be bad. They may ricochet around in your head and force you to remember the melody. Robert Frost said that free verse poetry is like tennis without a net. Well, for me, a song without lyrics is like tennis. It's squash without the wall. In closing, it doesn't matter if it's Handel or ABBA or Mozart or Jason Mraz. As Victor Hugo said, music expresses that which cannot be said and on which it is impossible to be silent.